yes. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Welcome. Let's make it public. Let me go in here and make it public. Let's make it public. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Yes. It's public. It's happening now. Everybody can start sharing. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And some people call me Luca Boy. That's little boy. Going all the way back to the 767. Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Man, if you were going to miss any Tuesdays with Terrence in the last 3.5 years, you should have missed them last week and all the others. Tonight is the show you can't afford to miss. I am so freaking excited. I'm trembling. The reason why I'm so excited, this person is better looking than me and smarter than me, my special guest tonight. But just before we start, man, as the people are coming in, it's Emancipation Day in the Caribbean. Happy emancipation to all the Caribbean countries. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, Belize in Central America joined the celebration of emancipation. So Dominica, Jamaica, Grenada, St. Vincent, Barbados, where is it? St. Lucia, who am I missing? Antigua, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis, who am I missing? All the islands in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, Haiti, come on, man. All the Caribbean islands, welcome. It's Emancipation Tuesday, and it's great to be free. But are we free indeed? Well, financial literacy will teach you freedom, and we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. But just before we start, while some of you are coming in, let me play a little music to get some of you guys to jump up a little bit. Some of you people just a little stiff. Let me get you in. And the reason why I'm going to play some music to get you in is because, what did I say? Them vex. Here we go. Black excellence. Tuesdays with Terrence. Welcome. Yes.
To Spain town, to the main town. Now the world I'm a playground. Every weekend is
financial independence.
That make them vex.
Woo!
That make them vex. You know this.
Shit alive.
Diamonds dancing from my chest, and that make them vex. What make them vex? Them see the success and them see we assets.
Success.
That make them stress. And lose happiness. That make them vex.
Woo!
Can't change.
Welcome.
Gone are the days when we dip on my face. Somehow forgive thanks like always. Keep it credit to a post paid. My team, I run the ball game. Be a pretty girl and my last name. My life too sweet.
Yes, man. I just found this song and I played it because it says a pure pretty girl have my last name. That means my daughter has my last name. I used it for infinite banking on TikTok. I love this tune, man. Christopher Martin is called Dem Vex. Demvex. Christopher Martin, international Jamaican reggae artist. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence, and some people call me Mr. Bardui. And even from the 767 Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica, especially the village of Point Michel, aka La Pointe. That's where I'm from. Come. They call me Luca Boy. That's for little boy. So welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. I'm so excited for the show tonight. Man, I have a very, very special guest tonight, all the way from Florida. But just before we bring him in, let's do a little promotion here. Just before we bring him in, let's talk about, every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, live via Facebook, Havis Bardui. My business page, Bardui Financial Services on Facebook, Twitter, HTB964, LinkedIn, Havis Bardui, H. Terrence Bardui on LinkedIn, and on my YouTube channel, Bardui Financial Services. That's where Tuesdays with Terrence is being streamed. So right now it's being streamed on 5 platforms. So you got to check whatever platform you're on, whether it's Twitter, HTB964, LinkedIn, Havis Bardui, H. Terrence Bardui. If it's YouTube, Bardui Financial Services. If it's Facebook, Havis Bardui, or Bardui Financial Services, Tuesdays with Terrence. I'm so excited tonight, folks. But just before we start the show, let me take a quick look and see who's watching before I give a shout out. Let's see who's watching so far. Let's go give a quick shout out to those who are watching. Let me take a quick look and see who's watching so far. Let's see. Man, let's see who's watching so far. I want to give you a shout out. Peach Goodwill. Good evening. How you doing? Welcome. Elizabeth Bardui all the way in Brooklyn, New York. Atlin Pittman in St. Martin in the Caribbean. Oh, Wincy Choice in Dominica. Rochelle Colbert Ruffin. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to tell you who that lady is, but I know she's a beautiful lady. Just keep watching and you'll find out who she is. She's a gorgeous woman. And I can say that because I have permission and you will understand why I'm saying that. And to all the others who are watching, I can't see you. Say hello. I'm hoping one of my clients today that I was doing a rollover for in South Carolina, while we call Fidelity and we rolled over the money. I hope you're watching all the way in Colombia. If you're on there, say hello. I hope you're watching on YouTube. If you're not, I'll come back and try to give you a shout out later. I want to say hello to everybody. That's right, Queen, Miss Ruffin. That's right. I gave you the shout out because you're the queen. I had to do that. And you don't know me, but your better half will tell you that I know how to hype people, and that's what I do. Guys, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. I am so excited, and I need to shut up so we can get my guests on. But just before we do that, let's take a quick look and see how markets close. Let's take a look at markets because I did something for one of my clients today, and let's see, if they gonna get more or gonna get less. Well, the market closed up. The Dow Jones was up 71.15. The NASDAQ was down 62.11. I got a friend who got a 401k, and most of their stuff is NASDAQ tech stocks. And the S&P was what, 1223 down. What was the Russell? We ain't going to go to the Russell. We ain't going to do that. So hope you guys are doing well. It's so exciting to be here on a Tuesday evening. Tuesdays with Terrence is the place you need to be every Tuesday. Free financial literacy, not advice, but suggestions. We are licensed to give you advice, but when you become our clients, we give you advice. I am so excited. But just before we start, I got to play my theme song. You know what? My baby sister, right? She's a Jean Lapointe as well, a Point Michelle girl. She says you don't have to be a star to be on my show. But guess what, folks? She lied. Don't listen to the first verse of the song. I got a superstar. I ain't got a star. I got a superstar on my show tonight, and I'm excited. Let's play our theme song before we bring our guest in. Boom! This is Miss Maynard Thomas, my beautiful sister. Yes, on the way to California. Her daughter's going to medical school. Congratulations, my niece. Chelsea, congrats.
Family, come as you are, with just your heart, and I'll help you win. Are you rejected or hurt? To me, your worth much more than you can.
I don't need no superstar. Share the live. But I got one tonight. Yes.
Superstar, 'cause I'll accept you as you are. You won't be denied, 'cause I'm satisfied with the help that I can provide. You don't have to be rich family to be on my show. You don't have to have a million family to be on my show.
Boom! Welcome. The song says you don't have to be a star, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to have a million to be on my show. I got a superstar tonight. Some of my clients are millionaires, some of them are paupers, but guess what? I can help them. Folks, I am so excited. I got a special guest tonight, my business partner. For those of you who follow me on social media, some of you think I'm vain. I'm not vain. I'm just wicked confident. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, so we use the word wicked, wicked pisser. I'm just wicked confidence. I'm wicked confident, right? But the thing about it is, it's Emancipation Day in the Caribbean. And you all know I was born in the Caribbean and I moved to Boston in the 70s when I was a kid, right? So I'm as a I'm Emancipation Day, so I'm really excited, right? But the thing about it is, don't let my confidence come across your insecurities because I can still help you. But guess what? Tonight, I got to step back because you all know I talk about how fine I am. I talk about how smart I am. I talk about how good I am as a trusted advisor. But tonight, I got to take a back seat. I got a better looking person than me, a smarter person than me on the show, and he happens to be my business partner. He happens to be my business partner all the way from the Sunshine State. So as I'm bringing him in, you all like melanin? I know someone is watching who likes melanin. You all like melanin? There you go. Woo! Hey, it's the melanin! Yes!
I love your everything.
What is going on, Mr. Avis? What's going on, good brother? H, appreciate you having me, good brother. Appreciate you having me on the show, man. This is a tremendous opportunity, man. Just being on your platform, being here with you on Tuesday nights with Terrence. I really appreciate it, good brother. You know, what an intro, man. That was tremendous. The music, you know.
There he is. There he is. He's coming. Coming. He's coming. Beautiful, brother. Showtime. Let me stop it. Good evening, young man. Can you hear me, man? Put your volume up.
I can hear you. I can hear you, good brother. I can hear you.
You can hear me good. You can hear me good. That's right. Make sure your volume's high. How you doing, young man?
I'm doing pretty good, H. This was a tremendous intro, man. I'm sitting here backstage.
I told you, I know I'm hype, bro.
Oh, yeah. My mind is going all over the place. I'm like, hey, this is going to be the first thing that I say. And then you pivot to something else. And like, dang, this music is really, really good, man. So, like, once you're done with financial services, which you're probably going to do this the rest of your life, but you need to, if you don't already, man, you need to be a DJ on the side. All right, you need to be a DJ on the side.
Well, you see, the thing is, I think I'm a DJ, but I'll be a lousy DJ. You know why? Because I'll be playing what I want. The DJ, you got to play what the people want. So I want to say welcome to everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And some people call me what? Luca boy. That's little boy. Going all the way back to the 767. Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. I think I stole someone's charger, but if they want it, I can get it to them. Is that what you want? I can get it to you. Wait a minute. But the important thing here is simply this, folks. Tonight, I have a very, very, very special guest. Very, 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 very special guest. And let me turn my light on. Make sure. Turn my light on. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I turn my light off. Just bear with me. 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 There we go. I kind of stole someone's charger, so I had to put it back, you know? So there we go. So like I was saying, Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. Tonight, I have a very, very special guest. He's my business partner. He's all the way from Florida, Mr. Courtney Ruffin. I'm going to put, so you all can see his name out here. Now, I got to say this. For those of you who are watching, a couple people stepped in my DMs on WhatsApp and around here and asked me some questions. And I want to make it very clear. You all heard me make a shout out to a queen on the show, and he's going to tell you who that queen is. So all of you all who's in my DMs and how fine he is, yeah, he's fine, but he's taken. Courtney, man, tell us a little bit about you, where you look currently located. Tell us a little bit about your family, man.
Hey man, I really appreciate it, and I know my wife appreciates the protection that she has on the other side of this, man. So,
Boom,
as
boom.
you know, Courtney Ruffin. I'm born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. I currently reside in Tampa, Florida. I'm married. I've been married. Just celebrated 9 years last week. We have 5 beautiful children, and we are recently here this year, newly grandparents. So that's us, man. Just excited to be here, good brother. And special shout out to my wife who's down there supporting, and the kids that's watching as well. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, Miss Colbert Ruffin. That's right. That's right. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. I hope everyone tonight, whatever you do tonight, I usually tell you guys like and share, but tonight I want you to share because like I told you, we're going to talk about some good stuff tonight. But you know what, Courtney? I'm so glad that you're on the show. I mean, I had your business partner, Mr. Daniel Moat, on earlier this year, and he killed it, and I'm just jealous of you and Daniel because you guys are chocolate. I'm caramel. I want to be chocolate. And but the thing about it is simply this, man. Financial literacy. I saw you did and those of you before the show has ended, I will tell you how to get in touch with him and how you can follow him on social media as well for professional and business advice. Because some of you guys don't like me because I'm too loud and he's mellow, and maybe you might listen to him. But Courtney, seriously, you're from Jacksonville, Florida, born and raised. Now you in Tampa with your beautiful wife, and your 5 kids. You just became a grandpa, and congratulations to you guys. So I saw a video you post on TikTok. All right, and at American Classic Agency, the company that cares, our mantra is income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But tonight, you dropped that on financial literacy, man, and it was quite profound. So I was like, all right, stay on there. We have some technical difficulties with the internet here. But the great thing is you dropped that TikTok on financial literacy. Can you tell us how would you define financial literacy, and what would you say about it? If I were a novice, I know nothing about financial services, what would you say about, you know, financial literacy?
No, I appreciate that question, Age, for real. I've just having conversations with people or observing other conversations or videos that you see on social media. It seems that when you mention the phrase or the term financial literacy, people tend to turn a deaf ear. It's something that becomes one of those things that are redundant to some people. It's like, having to learn a new course and people feeling, hey, I already graduated high school and college. I don't want to learn something else, or I'm pretty good with my money. I don't need anybody to teach me anything. And this is what I would tell people financial literacy is. Imagine a scratch off ticket, right? On the scratch off ticket, it has rules on it on how you can win, right? Underneath that UV ink that covers up those numbers is actually your information, right? And we scratch that UV ink off of that information and uncover your information. There's the opportunity for you to win or discover more opportunity for you to become more financial literate, or for you to earn or gain more money, right? Become more wealthy than you already are, or start your journey to wealth. So if I were to give you a winning scratch off ticket, would you tell me no? Most people
Oh,
won't
I'll
tell
take
me
it.
absolutely. So this scratch off ticket might have $100, might be $1,000, it might be 10, it might be $1,000,000. But if I say, hey, here's a scratch off ticket, it's already won, you're going to take it from me. That's literally what we do as financial professionals when we're offering people financial literacy. So we're giving people a winning scratch off ticket.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that because sometimes we forget that when it comes to financial literacy, it's not taught in schools. You don't learn in kindergarten, middle school, high school. Some people come up with a finance degree and they don't have all the knowledge that they need to. I mean, one of my clients, one of my A1 clients, was shocked when I taught her some stuff about, infinite banking. And she's a big time, work for these big companies, auditors and stuff like that. And when it's like, oh my gosh, they got billions of dollars on their books. So the key here is that people don't really understand financial literacy. And I think I like how you did it, because you just broke it down. Everybody knows whether you play the lottery or not. And I think tonight the Mega Millions is like over $1 billion. So some of you, when you hit it, you need to contact Courtney, so he can help you structure some of that stuff as well. The important thing here is that financial literacy is something that we all need. And as I'm looking here, I can see Miss Joan Isles all the way in H-Town, Houston, Texas. Welcome to the show. I can see Mr. Marvin Beatty all the way. Welcome. I want to say hello to my esteemed client, Miss Elaine Corbett, all the way in Columbia, South Carolina. Patrick Freddie Bardui, my cousin, my first cousin in the Caribbean, watching all the way in St. Martin. Alvin Vasa, Petersburg, Virginia, and everyone else who's watching. Some of you, I can't see Wincy Choice. Who else? Some of you, Adeline Pittman. Oh my, Delphina LeBlanc, all the way in Canada. Welcome. And thank you for tuning in. All of you guys tonight have tuned in because you're going to get some practical advice. Even though Courtney and I are licensed in the continental United States, that advice can be used universally. You may have to find out where they are and what they do. And you could call me and I'll tell you certain things about what we talk about, but you have to do it wherever you are. So Courtney, you said that financial literacy is like the lottery ticket. It has, instructions on the back. What about those who don't know the instructions or don't know how to, where would you start? There's a client watching right now who told me about financial literacy, about nobody knows where to begin. I say, well, how do you know to plan a vacation? Because most Americans spend more time spending a vacation than they do financial literacy or their finances. So what would you tell someone who wants to start protecting their future? They have a family like you, whatever. What would you say when it comes to financial literacy? What should they be doing, young man?
Well, you really need to understand, where you're. The first thing you need to understand is where you're weak at financially, where you exposed at, right? What money is being wasted, what money is being protected or not being protected, and what money is working. So, with that, you have the opportunity to say, let's say, for example, you're a truck driver, right? Or you just got a regular car. It's just you, right? And you want to know how your car or your truck is performing, right? So if you're on the road a lot, you want to make sure that, you have good, you don't have any oil leaks. You're getting good miles per gallon. You want to make sure you don't have any fuel leaks. You just want to make sure you got maximum performance, right? Whether you got a lot of money or a little bit of money, you want to make sure you got maximum performance. So sitting down with people like you and myself and uncovering the things that where money is going, how money is coming into your home and how it's going out is very important, because you may be missing a very key opportunity to leverage your money. And I think leverage is the most important part of financial literacy. There's a couple of moving parts. For me, professionally, I would say there's about 5. Some people say there's less than that. Some people may say more. I say it's about 5. And I think leverage is the most important piece of financial literacy. You need to know how your money is or is not being leveraged.
So for example, leverage, that's a big word. Some people may not know. So how would you define leverage? Or could you give an example for someone to be leveraging their money? What would you say to them, sir?
Yeah, so it's easy, right? So you need to maximize the opportunity for your money to earn more money, right? So traditionally, we're taught to take our money, put it in a checking account, put it in a savings account, pay all of our bills, and pretty much just work and try to save our way to retirement or wealth. And that's literally going to keep you in a situation where you may have to work longer than you're expected to with the rising of inflation and taxes, and it may put you in a situation where you're continuously in debt because of how taxes and inflation increase. If you don't have your money in a vehicle that's leveraging to fight against those two things, you're going to see yourself, like I said, working for a very long time and or consistently being in debt until the day you die. So leverage is important because you want to be putting your money in a place where your money is working and growing at an exponential rate so that you can be on top of taxes and inflation, your two biggest enemies to wealth and your retirement.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Thank you for clarifying that because some people may have not known what that is. I want to say welcome to Miss June Bardui Ansem watching all the way in Boston, Massachusetts, and Miss Lucinda Bardui Alfred. I don't know if you're still in Houston or you're back in the Caribbean, and Miss Esther Duran Casimir in St. Martin. People are watching from Courtney. People watching from all over the world, man, because they tune in just to hear you talk and pontificate about financial literacy. You know, it's so funny that in our communities, I dropped a TikTok or I think it was Instagram. Um, Jamal Brown, I think Brian is his name. He's a preacher or whatever, and he was talking about, and you can go on my page, folks, and you guys can see that. Those of you who send me a friend request, I'll definitely do that. You should be doing that with Courtney as well, and we'll get you his information before the show's ended. He'll put that, and actually, I know your wife's watching. If she wants to, she can in the chat. She can drop all your social media handles if she knows it as well, and I know you'll tell us at the end. But check this out. You know, he was talking about how much billions of dollars we spend on hair. I got no hair. I'm bald, but you know what I mean. How much money we spend on perfume. You know, how much money we spend on this and that. We smelling good, but we don't have anything. So my question to you, last night we had a training and we used, I talked about my daughter doing infinite banking, but for people who think, man, I don't have a lot of money and I want to start doing something, what would you recommend? Because I've been telling them, but they don't listen to me. I'm not as good looking as you, but what would you tell these people to, it doesn't matter if you're making 100 grand or 50 grand or 200 grand or a million or 25 grand. What would you tell them? Where should they start? You said talk to someone like me and you, but what options are there for them, Mr. Ruffin?
Well, yeah, where should they start? And I would always say somewhere, right? Somewhere other than what you typically being taught.
I agree.
Right. Because what happens is when we look at it, we need to look at the things around us, right? When we look at the things around us, all of us have people in our families who have worked up until the age of 65 and beyond, maybe even 70 years old, right? Years that were, well beyond what they're desired to. We are young folks. Yep. Or even younger and still complaining about going to work every day, right? Sometimes in some situations, we don't want to go to work. We want to retire. But what are we actively doing to retire? Are we just talking about it? Or are we actually doing something? So your first step is obviously to sit down with a professional and have them evaluate your financial situation, right? And then you can get into, pretty much anything that's going to get you compound interest growth on your money. What I would tell people, what you really need to understand, and it's hard to give people blanket advice without looking at their situation. But one of the things I really like to start people with the rule of 100. I really like to start people with that. The rule of 100 is basically a rule that helps you understand where you should be investing your money or contributing your money aggressively and where you should have moderate and conservative opportunities for you to earn money. Too many people spend time invested in the stock market only, right? And it puts you at risk. It has certain exposures, and certain people spending too much time invested conservatively, maybe just having a savings account. And it's not giving you an opportunity to earn more money on top of your money. You're basically going to end up in a rock and a hard place by not having a tool that's helping you to grow money. So you need to understand the rule of 100. The rule of 100 basically says you take the number 100 and you subtract your age by it. Your age represents the percentage of your income that you should be conservative with, right? So I'm 45 years old. I should be conservative with about 45% of my disposable income. The result of that factor in my situation would be 55. So 55% of my disposable income should be invested aggressively. As I go forward, working with a financial professional, working with myself, of course, I'm going to adjust that as I get older, because what happens as we get older, we don't have as much time to take as much risk. So we need to be managing those things. If we're over leveraged in one place or the other, we could find ourselves in a very unfortunate situation financially. Over leveraged aggressively, if the bottom falls out of the market at the wrong time, it could hurt our retirement, right? Over leveraged conservatively or moderately, when we get to a time of retirement age, we might not have enough, right? So we got to make sure that we're doing the proper balance in that.
And it's so funny you said that. I was telling this to a client yesterday and explained the same concept to them, trying to explain to them that we need to save and we need to do it using the proper channels, because I'm not opposed to people investing in markets. I just tell them, you know what, I just hate those things are tax invested with capital gains. And I just hate that, especially when you get to a certain age. I was telling my client who's watching, one of my clients who's watching today, I was telling her that, when you get to a certain age, you should never want to ever lose a penny, ever. So you got to scale your the way you invest and make sure you leverage, like you said, that word again, leverage, so that you don't have to spend all your money on stuff that's going to, do all of this. Sometimes incremental growth, which makes a great segue into income protection. We say we're going to touch briefly about income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. So for income protection, right, it says if you're making like 50 grand a year, you got to have, at least several years of income protected in case something happens to you. What would you say, Mr. Ruffin, about income protection? It doesn't matter if you're making $1 million a year, 100 grand a year, because if you're making 100 grand for 10 years, it's $1 million. 50 grand for 20 years is $1 million. What would you tell people about income protecting and protecting their income protection? I'm sorry.
Well, as you know, H, the very foundation of financial independence is life insurance.
Amen.
Right?
Preach.
And regardless if you're protecting your income from an aspect of when you transition and you're no longer with us, your family has to be has to remain, and your income needs to be protected from that aspect to allow them to continue forward, right? And then we start looking at just health. Period. Let's say you don't die, right? None of us want to die too soon, right? But what if you get ill, really ill, and you can no longer work, or you can only you're out of work, you're disabled for a short period of time. If you're critically injured. Those kind of things are things that we're looking to help people with, just from an aspect of, hey, while we're building this legacy, while we're building out what we're trying to do, while we're achieving all the financial goals that we're trying to do, trying to create, we need to have a parachute. I like to tell people, before you jump out of that investment plane, pack a parachute. Anytime anybody's going to go skydiving, they're going to check on the plane. They're going to make sure the plane got gas in it, all that great stuff, right? But me, if I'm skydiving, especially if I'm skydiving for the first time, I'm not a pilot. I don't know how to fly a plane. But what I want to do is I want to check with the person who's responsible for me jumping out of that plane. Let's make sure I have a parachute before I do it. And I like to refer to life insurance as an investment parachute. Aggressive investors, people who like to jump out there and buy a whole bunch of real estate and put a lot of their money in the stock market. Fantastic. Great. Where's your parachute? That's my question.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because, the only way I'm jumping off a plane is if it's crashing and they tell us to jump out. But the thing is, you still need to have, whatever it is, that you need for that protection. And any house that's built has a foundation, and a solid financial plan has to be secured and solidified with insurance. If you and I were business partners, and we are, but let's say we're going into a different venture, as equals, we got to agreement. Make sure I protect me and we protect you. If something happens to me, you're protected. You may not want to do important things here. Is that making sure that we use the to secure or solidify our financial planning. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of what you were saying were cut out. I heard the buy-sell agreement, right? So those things are kind of very important. When you're entering into business, there's so many opportunities, with using insurance outside of just protecting one individual in the event that they die. We can do so many things with this vehicle. We can often have a conversation with people for 30, 45 minutes of an hour presentation and not even talk about them dying. Let's talk about what this product does while you're still here.
Right. You're correct. It's one of the things, just before I say that, one of the things we have to realize is that you have to get the right planner. You have to get the right planner. And for those of you who are watching, just tuned in, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My special guest is Mr. Courtney Ruffin out of Tampa, Florida. And he's my business partner. And he's here dropping dimes and dropping gems on financial literacy for you guys. And if you want to follow him on his social media platforms, Rochelle Colbert Ruffin, his beautiful wife, has put it in the chat, and you can go there and follow him. Send him a friend request. Just because we're friends and I do the same thing, don't mean you can't follow him. Sometimes he has a different perspective on it. Like I sent someone a video that someone else did the other ago, and they said, now I get it, because I think I was probably talking Greek to them. So listen, it's always important that you get different perspectives from others. So please follow him on social media. So Courtney, we talked about income protection. All right, we just talked about that. And debt is a financial cancer. If you got debt, and I got some, it's going to cripple you. Now, you're not as, I should say, as, I don't say wicked, but aggressive as me on social media. I'll put stuff like, you can't be going on vacations, and you can't be going to every party and going to Vegas and going to Colombia and going to the Caribbean and Europe, and you're in debt. Eliminate that debt, man, and then party like a rock star. So my question to you, Mr. Ruffin, is this. Debt is a financial cancer. The U.S. debt is about $34 trillion with a T. Trillion with a T, right? What are you going to tell the masses out there about debt, and what should they do? How would you articulate or pontificate on debt?
Well, man, I think you said it perfectly when you said it was a financial cancer. It really puts a heavy strain on families. It puts a heavy strain on our finances. And it should be a goal of ours to eliminate it as much as we possibly can. Now, education is important. Not being fearful of sharing your information with people like financial services experts is pivotal. The last two people that I've met with, right, they've been very willing to share information with me, filling out our financial questionnaires top to bottom, letting us know how much money they make, what their debt is, how much more they contribute to that debt than what the minimum contribution is, what they have in their retirement, life insurance, like from a T, top to bottom, we understand their whole financial profile. And both of these clients said to me recently, when they shared the information and we got on the Zoom, they said to me, please don't make fun of my financial situation. And that shed some light on me. Like, people are so afraid to share their information with somebody like myself and yourself, that it's something that we need to find a way to cure and offer and obtain more trust from our community and our people, to let them know that we are here to help. Right? You'll go get your car checked on, right? And you'll tell the mechanic everything that's going on with your car, right? And he'll do a diagnostic test. You'll fill out a form. You'll pay some money. And then in the end, he's going to give you a resolution to fixing your car. Same thing with your doctor. Same thing when you call a contractor to come in and look at your house. They're going to tell you everything that needs to be done. You're going to fill out some paperwork. You're going to give them all the information. You're going to tell them about the leak that's in the basement or in the garage that you were embarrassed to tell anybody about. You're going to tell them about that. And then you're going to allow them to help you fix it, right? It's no different than your money. We need to treat our money the exact same way so that we're not drowning in debt until the day we die. To your point, and I'll close, when we're traveling, when we're doing extravagant things with that money, that's fantastic. I don't discourage anybody from doing these things, right? But when you come home from those vacations, you got to deal with certain things, right? That vacation is a getaway. And then now you've got to put money here or rob Peter to pay for your vacation or do something else to plan for the next one. Well, imagine being in a situation where when you come home from vacation, you can immediately plan for the next one because you don't have to worry about debt. You don't have to worry about working overtime to make up for all the money that you spent on vacation. You know what I mean? We want to put you in a situation where you can live whatever lifestyle you want. You can buy as many pairs of Jordans as you want, as expensive purses you want to buy, but let's get that debt out of the way first, right? And that's just something that we just need to, be more encouraging to our people about.
And I agree. And I agree with you. I think sometimes people are embarrassed about their financial situation, and we don't. I tell my clients, I have clients who are millionaires and clients who are paupers, and usually people who have a lot disclose everything, and people who don't have are ashamed. And I'm not going to shame anybody in an appointment, because what's that going to benefit them or me? But the important thing is, but I will tell people on social media, you can't be living large on social media, right? You're always going to be in everything that's going on. You see all over the world. And then in private, someone said, you can't be spending in public and borrowing in private. In other words, what they were saying is, don't come in. And I think I kind of posted it on my thing. I probably paraphrased it wrong. The important thing is this, folks. We're not opposed to you vacationing. Nor are we opposed to you spending. You work hard. Get your Louis Vuittons and your Gucci's and your stuff, but eliminate your debt. And after you do that, create that legacy. Because I told you guys all the time, I see you all posting about your kids and your grandkids. And, like I say this all the time. A couple years ago, I spoke with my daughter and I said, listen, when you're my age, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be a millionaire when you're like me. Someone said, H, you're not a millionaire? I said, if I die, I am. And the family will get it. But the point I was trying to make here was this. Start planning early. But people take it the wrong way and they think, oh, I'm trying. No, we care. Because what I don't want is, like you just talked about a little while ago when you talked about the income protection, a critical illness, critical injury, chronic illness, chronic injury, or terminal illness. If you have an emergency pool of money, you can solidify your household with debt, get rid of all of that. And if you don't want to go a trip around the world because the person's going to die, do it, as far as I'm concerned. But, I want to say welcome to Lancy Delma all the way in New York, Brooklyn, New York in the house, Herman Babuli in Bardui Sr. in the Caribbean, the Virgin Islands, my cousin, good to see you. And all those who are watching, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My special guest is Mr. Courtney Ruffin from Florida, and he's dropping some dimes. And you need to follow him on social media. In the chat is all his social media handles. You need to go in there and watch it. And if there's anyone who's watching that I didn't give a shout out to, I told some people to watch. If you're watching Keto, if you're watching all the way to St. Vincent, and all the others, if you're watching Raquel, if you're watching the DMV and other people, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Courtney, we talked about income protection a little bit. We talked about debt elimination. You just talked about you recently became a grandpa. Legacy creation, right? In the Bible, Proverbs, it states that a good man, not a bad man, but a good man, leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Like my daughter's in grad school. And I say, if something happens to daddy and he died, all your debts are paid. And I said to her, if something happens to you, and my daughter's not married, all your debts are paid because you've already put something in place for income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. She hasn't had a legacy yet because she hasn't got children. But what would you say to people about legacy creation, and especially to those who don't have children or spouse or whatever? I believe whether you have one or not, your legacy tells a lot about what you did while you were here. What would you tell the masses tonight, Mr. Ruffin, on legacy creation?
Well, that's one of my favorite questions, H. I'll just share with everybody what I found my purpose for being in this business, right? I didn't know this was the business for me until I got into it. and I started to work with people, and I started to evaluate my own story and see how this is my calling. I have my two grandfathers. I never met those gentlemen. Both of them worked for themselves. One of them was a championship boxer, and the other one was a businessman in the seafood industry. And both of them died. One of them died at 33 years old, and another one died, I believe my paternal grandfather was about 45, 46 years old. My mother's oldest brother, or her youngest brother, actually was like a father to me. He passed away when I was 7 years old. He was also an entrepreneur, but he was somebody who I was around for that short period of time more than I was probably with my own mother. So he was like a father. And these gentlemen passed away before they could finish establishing their legacy. They didn't have enough life insurance, right, to match what they were building. So what I like to tell people is this: evaluate your situation, right? Evaluate who depends on you. Evaluate what you want people to remember about you when you're not here one day, right? And I know everything is not about money, right? But if you have $1 million dream, my grandfathers, my uncle, they had $1 million dreams. If you have $1 million dream and you don't have $1 million life insurance policy to match that dream, where I'm from, that's called hustling backwards.
Say it again, please.
If you don't have $1 million life insurance policy to match your $1 million dream, where I'm from and where a lot of you are from, that's called hustling backwards.
Wow. Hustling backwards. You know, it's so funny you said that. And sometimes people think, well, one of our colleagues, one of our business partners last year told me, someone said to them, I ain't leaving them $1 million. They don't need that much. And I'm like, it's that mindset with the people who look like us that just tick me off sometimes. Because the other persuasions, they're creating, whether it's the Caucasians, the East Indians, the doggone Asians, or even the Hispanics, man, they're looking at creating that legacy. And I keep telling people, there's so many clients that I've talked to, people who I've spoken to, and some of them didn't know anything about life insurance or how to create legacies, because they're all thinking about, a lot of people think about life insurance as morbid. They're thinking about death. But we talk about life insurance with living benefits. We talk about, you talked about a little while ago, if you have a critical illness, critical injury, chronic illness, chronic injury, or terminal illness, you have an emergency pool of money you can access. But we need to change our mindset. We need a paradigm shift with people who look like us to understand. I believe everybody watching should have $1 million policy, especially if you're in the continental United States. Every one of you can afford it. Because if I come to your home and I see what you're spending money on, you can afford it. We don't care if it's term, whole life, universal life, variable universal life. We don't care. Some people say, I got in the job. I got in the job. Well, you're going to retire from that job one day. When you leave, they ain't giving you all that. You don't own it. So, Courtney, we're talking about legacy creation, and we only have about 12 minutes left, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Please like and share this tonight. But listen, man, what words of advice and encouragement and admonition do you give to people that look like me and you? Because we will help anybody. But tonight, I want to talk to people that look like you and me. Mm-hmm. What would you say to them, Courtney, starting today, what they should be doing about their legacy?
Yeah, man. So what I say go back to something you said earlier. One thing that I say to people when they tell me, hey, I ain't leaving my kids that much money, I tell them, if I'm going to be your life insurance agent, you are. Right? I like because, we need to have an understanding. A lot of people don't want to create quote unquote trust fund babies, right? And we need to, pick up books like What Would the Rockefellers Do, and some books like that to teach how not to create trust fund babies, how to create a legacy that is long standing for decades to come, where children won't be spoiled by what you left behind. They actually have to accomplish things or reach certain goals in life that you can establish in order to obtain the money or some of the money you've left behind. So there's a myriad of ways to get around that. But talking to our people, and I love that topic, man. Do your history on life insurance. Understand that there was a point in time during slavery where life insurance wasn't going to be a thing. And somebody had the idea that they should put life insurance on slaves. And literally this idea saved the industry of life insurance. Sometime after that, we were allowed to have obviously jobs, lands, things like that to a certain level. And we were sold life insurance, but we were only sold burial policies.
Preach.
We were only sold insurance policies that were enough to bury us, right? And then we were sold it at like a 20 or 30% markup. I wish Eugene Mitchell was on to give me some more facts with that, right? A 20 to 30% markup. So already your mindset is being shifted right in there, right? These things are historic traumas that we come to like have this idea that life insurance has no value to us because our minds have been shaped to understand that we can only have it to a certain degree. And then it was too much, right? And when those individuals died, when those people died, the burial policy was just enough to pay the funeral homes that were owned by our counterparts. So we were losing our land, we were losing our families, we were losing everything, right? So right. At the end of the day, a lot of people feel like, and there's some part of it is true where there's been some injustices, whether it be, criminally, financially, what have you. There's been some things that have been done to us to put us behind the 8 ball. But at the same time, we continue to remain behind the 8 ball by not taking advantage of things that we can actually do today, things that we can actually do right now to change the trajectory of our legacy and our families. And we really need to understand the importance of protecting what you've worked so hard for. We're going to work from 18. Some of us are going to work from 18 to 65, 70 years old. And then poof, we're going to be gone. Our average age expectancy, life expectancy is about 78, 80, between 78, 80 years old. So what have you worked all your life for? For yourself? You worked all your life just to spend all of your money? Or should you be working all of your life so the next generation doesn't have to struggle as much as you struggle? Yes. Right? Or should we want to love on our kids and our grandkids and our great grands enough to where we can leave enough behind so they have an advantage in the world? Not be lazy, not do anything, but when they need something, they can just go get it. Right? And I wish this was something that my parents were taught and my grandparents were taught us. I wish this was something, this business H, this is something that I wish I would have fallen upon right out of high school. I really do. Because it gives us the opportunity to help so many people. And I tell people this, H. People ask me what I do for a living. I said, I get paid to get people paid. And the only thing better than that is saving a life. It's being a doctor saving a life. You know what I mean? I love it. So yeah, man, just understand where we've come from, understand what we've been through, and understand where we're headed, guys. The foundation of financial independence for yourself and your family is life insurance. And again, we ain't got to spend but 5 or 10 minutes talking about death. We want to talk about how we can help you leverage your money, accumulate more money, preserve it, redistribute it while you're still here, and watch your kids and grandkids just enjoy life. That's what we're here for.
Man, I like what you just said. I put it in the chat. I get paid I put but you know what he meant, to get people paid, and I also put in there, he said, if I'm going to be your life insurance agent, you need $1 million policy, Courtney Ruffin. Right? There's 2 quotes you put on there. I'm going to be plagiarizing them quotes, and I'll quote you, bro. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. His name is Mr. Courtney Ruffin. Courtney, we have, 6 minutes left. I do want to play Melanin for you before we get you off the line, because you got to go to your beautiful wife and children. But I'll tell you this, man. You have 2 minutes to give a closing statement to the masses who will watch this podcast, whether it's live, on demand, or a different time. Because I tell people, you all watch Netflix, I watch ESPN, some people watching CNN, some of you all watch Fox, some of you all watch this TikTok, you all be watching crap. But this is knowledge, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to listen. Courtney, you have 2 minutes to tell the masses, I don't know, parting words, like the minister do, the altar call. I don't know what you're going to call it, but you got 2 minutes to tell the folks, tell the masses what they should be doing.
Yes, sir. So H, first of all, I appreciate you having me on the platform, good brother. Your life, your business, your family is going to be blessed by you sharing this platform, your platform, with people who do the things that you do. At the end of the day, man, me and my business partner, my other business partner, Darnell Moat, you had him on earlier. We talk all the time. We talk almost every day. And what we realize is that what we do is actually fun.
Yes.
Like we like literally enjoy helping people with financial solutions. We can sit down with people and evaluate their financial situation and put them in a better financial situation. And they say, Ruff, and a lot of people call me Ruff, Courtney, Darnell, thank you for what you have done for us. Thank you what you have done for my family. I'm going to tell my sister about you. I'm going to tell my brother about you. I'm going to tell my cousin, my coworkers. That brings us the ultimate joy, just to be a service to people. Like, this is literally, we ain't selling vacuums. We're not selling, milkshakes that help you lose weight. We are actually offering you a product that is going to help you be in a situation where you can literally enjoy your life financially and do the things that you need to do for yourself and your family. And it just gives us great joy to do that. So I appreciate you tonight, H. Appreciate this opportunity, man. It was beautiful.
Man, the show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. I'm H. Terrence Vardui. Here's Mr. Courtney Ruffin. Courtney, there's a client of mine who's watching, who I'm working with them, doing an infinite banking concept for them, and also doing a rollover of an in-service withdrawal of their 401k to protect it, where zero is the hero from any market losses. And everything hasn't been, we're in the process. We moved some money today. We're doing some stuff. And she's already given me 6 referrals. She texted me their numbers. I was like, because she's seeing the value. And she was a referral from another client who's a girlfriend. And since last year, we were supposed to connect. And we talked a couple of times, but the time wasn't right. The important thing about this is making sure we help each other. And I keep telling people, you said you get paid, you get paid to get people paid. But I tell people this. I tell them this all the time. They always ask me, what's my fee? I tell them, you can't afford me. But you know what you could do? Don't keep me like your side piece. Keep me as your main piece and tell everybody. Everybody needs to know, because you can't be side piecing me, because some of my clients don't want anybody to know that they're doing business with me, and some substantial clients. And that's their right. I understand some people are private, but I tell my clients and potential clients, tell everybody, right. La-di-da-di. Yeah, your mama and them, your cousin and them, everybody. Right. Tell them about me so I can help everybody. So that, because one thing I ain't going to do, any of my Facebook friends who know what I do and they have a critical or chronic illness and they in a GoFundMe, I ain't contributing to it. Different countries might be something different, but not in America. Because all of us who have a Social Security number and was born here, or became like me, an immigrant. Some of you became U.S. citizens. Some of you got green cards. Some of you are undocumented. I can still write you. You're paying taxes and you have a job, Social Security number. I can still write you. We can do that. I'm working with someone right now doing that. Folks, the show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. His name is Mr. Courtney Ruffin. Courtney, your wife has put your stuff in the chat. So if you want to get
my beautiful wife for that, thank you.
She put it in there, and it says, Facebook is Courtney Ruffin, or Living Legacy Financial Solutions, his business page. Instagram, Mr. Ruffin 904. That's the area code, Florida. TikTok is @Agent Ruffin, and his website is www.prolivinglegacy.com. Man, you can listen. Some of you guys don't want to talk to me because you know me. You might think it's one of these things. Call him. He'll help you. I have a problem with that. It's big enough. Call him. He'll help you. There was someone who didn't want me to help them anymore. I had our agency pass it to him. I told them to pass it to him. You know, listen to me, folks. This is not a joke. Income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation is where it's at. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And some people call me Luca Boy. That's little boy, going all the way back to the 767 Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me and Mr. Ruffin. Folks, Courtney, I want you to stay on the line for a minute, but you know what? Since you guys like looking at him, he's so fine, and his wife knows that too. This message is for your wife right here. It's the melanin. Woo!
Hey, it's the melanin. I love your everything.
She loves him. We love him too. Yes, Courtney.
Don't you know that
Black don't crack.
there's no need to be
Ashamed of your skin.
They won't tell you, but
It's a fact.
you got class. Let it last.
Yes.
Keep it to your ear.
He got class, everybody. And his name is Mr. Courtney Ruffin. Follow him on social media. My name is Havis Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And some people call me Luca Boy, going all the way back to the 767 Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica. Like I said, Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. As I play my theme song and we leave for the night, like and share, everybody. Good night. God bless you. Good night, everybody. Courtney, hold on. Hold on. Thank you, sir. Hold on. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Come as come as you are, with just your heart, and I'll help you win. Are you rejected?
What happened? Someone's calling me, man. Can you believe that crap? Sorry about that. Someone's calling me, man. Sorry about that, folks. Someone called me. Can you believe that foolishness and mess up my Tuesdays with Terrence? We're gonna start it over, man. We're gonna start it over. We're gonna start it over. We don't want anybody interrupting our business here. Let's start it over. Let's start it over. Let's start it over. People can't call me when the show's going off. Here we go. Closing off. Closing off.
Son, we come as you are, with just your heart, and I'll help you win. Are you rejected or hurt? To me, you're worth much more than you put in.
I don't need no superstar, but I have one
Now,
tonight.
I don't need no superstar, 'cause I'll accept you as you are. You won't be denied, 'cause I'm satisfied with the help that I can provide. You don't have to be rich family to be on my show. You don't have to have a million family to be on my show.
You don't have to be a star. You don't have to have a million to be a Tuesdays with Terrence. Courtney Ruffin and myself can help you. Contact us and let's protect your family. Let's create generational wealth, income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. Like and share. Good night, everybody. God bless you. Thank you. I love you. It's the melanin in Mike. I'm caramel. He's chocolate. I told you guys he's better looking and he's way smarter than I am. Good night. Like and share. Tell your friend to watch the show. Peace. I'm out.